Mercenaries 2, we're after the UP targets, blowing shit up. Double A Gamer for Life, Demented Priest. Okay, the UP faction is hostile to us, and instead of bribing them to make us like them, we've not done their targets, which means these are targets that are either VC occupied or the PLAV. And as long as we can keep an alarm going for the PLAV, we should be able to keep them happy with us and take out the targets. And like all the targets, it's really up to you gamers how you like to kind of go about it. Helicopters, tanks. By this point in the game, you should have plenty of money and you should have quite a bit in your inventory as far as airstrikes and tanks and whatever is floating your boat. Okay, this one particular target, I knew there was like a tank in there, went ahead and took it out. It's a light armor tank, so one missile took care of it. And as you see there, the UP thing came up hostile. And by the time we get to the third or fourth target, they'll be friendly to us, which means after this, we can go do the UP HVTs. And we didn't have to go see Fiona and bribe the UP faction, so we could do that. Because if the UP is hostile to you, they will not come pick up the HVTs, even though they're PLV lieutenants or Venezuelans. So the UP needs to be happy with you in order to do their HVTs. Okay, so by the end of the game, I'm going to have to bribe one of the factions, and that's most likely going to be the Americans, because we've already taken care of China, and China is pretty pissed off at us at the moment. So in order to make China like us again, we're going to do their 8 targets, which means we got to bomb 8 of the American buildings. And in the process of that, well, we will be pissing off the Americans. So by the time you get to the end of the game, you've taken out every target, you've taken out every HVT alive. Alright. There's only 3 missions per faction to get to the end of the game, which is taking out Solano. Now the thing is that you can't, let's say you want to side with China and take out the Americans. Well, once you end the game, that's it. You can't like go back and do the American mission. So the only way to really do it is to save the game before that and just reload the game. Now, because I'm doing a video walkthrough, I have to do all of the mission. So what I do is I go ahead, the Americans are already pissed at me, so I go ahead and do the China missions. And once I get done with that, I go ahead and reload the game to my save, and then go see Fiona and bribe the Americans so they can like me again, and then do their 3 missions. Because, you know, I'm not going to side with China. You know, the Allies need to pretty much take over Venezuela, so that's the way I roll it. But this little cluster on the mountainside, it's got about 4 or 5 targets, and we're going to come up in here. We had the helicopters already, kind of do what we can do, but it's tight terrain in here for helicopters. The trees are kind of close together, so it's kind of tough to get in here and do it to it. So
one of the buildings UP wants destroyed.
Another option is if you see any ordnance on the ground, just go ahead and shoot it, and that should be enough an explosion to take out the targets.
You picked the wrong
Yeah, it looks like me and Demented are both smoking.
You knew one
Well, I
of the
still got quite a bit of health left.
Another building destroyed.
But like I said, it is tight terrain in here, and you're going to be bouncing off trees. They would have put a Gatling cannon on this thing. It would have been pretty sweet. The minigun is nice, no question about it, but there's always the trade-off.
Get that helicopter! I'm going in! Fire up a helicopter!
Building destroyed.
And not taking me down.
I'm going in.
One RPG later.
What's behind that? Shoot! Cover me!
That's another building destroyed.
There's so many of these guys.
Oh, that
Well,
airfield
won't last
RPG
now.
is a beautiful thing. Mercenaries redone on a new generation, man, that would be something. But unfortunately, this game has been probably not going to be remade. The company that did this is no longer in business, so I think the odds of seeing a Mercenaries 3 is going to be pretty slim. Alright, so we went off to the next area. Got a couple targets around this town to take out, and it's time to call in something different. So pulled up a tank, and coming up to the next target, they're going to let the Meta do a laser guided bomb here. Because after all, the Meta likes blowing up shit too.
Ain't got a chance, boys. Attack!
Bombs away.
Laser guided bomb to your target. And here comes Misha.
Awesome. One more building gone.
No question that the laser guided bomb is one of the top on my airstrike list.
Enemy soldier sighted!
You can do it from a distance. The only problem is that there's times where, depending on where you're standing, Misha's missile kind of will go through the bomb, or kind of go through a building or a target that you don't really want it to. And that comes apparent when we do the China targets. There's 8 American buildings that we need to take out, and we learned the hard way that we can't really use the laser guided bomb, so had to mix it up a little bit.
Got your signal
One of the easiest ways to do it was to use, I think it was like a smart bomb,
That's easy money.
and
Another
I think it was
billboard
like the
down.
smart bomb, Mohab or whatever, and it's basically not a bomb that's dropped by Misha, so that's kind of
One
how
more building
that
gone.
kind of worked out. Okay, for instance, the target building that we needed to take out, let's just say it's in front of us or off to our 2 or 3
One
o'clock,
helicopter delivered.
and we
one
stand
pilot
on another
hoofing
building
it back to the villa.
and target it with the laser guided bomb. And when Misha would come through with the bomb, the building that we're standing on would get destroyed, and then the building that we were targeting may or may not have been
One
destroyed.
of the buildings
I don't know, it
was
was pretty
destroyed.
whack. So what we do, you'll see it coming up in some videos ahead of here, is that pretty much we use the American ambassador helicopter, and undercover disguise, we would just land on the building and drop a cruise missile, smart bomb, anything to that effect. Pretty much they were airstrikes that were not of Misha dropping them. They were like probably the American faction. You see the big gunship come along and drop a smart bomb or the cruise missile, and pretty much the target that you beacon or whatever is the only target that gets blown up. Okay, so
You're near one of the
off to
VV
the
occupied
pirate
buildings.
side of the town, you got another 4 targets here. But before doing this, I had to go off and buy another 20 or so anacondas. That was a nice 10 million or whatever. But it's money well spent. This helicopter's worth every penny of it. So
I've marked one of the buildings UP
went
wants
here
destroyed.
and got the last of the UP targets done, and now they're friendly to us. So
I need more
go
ammo.
ahead and do the UP HVTs and get
One
that
more building
done.
gone. You're near a target.
Come on now. It's time to get dirty.
Awesome! One more building gone.
All right, one more target to go.
You're near one of the VZ occupied buildings. That's it. You've destroyed all the
Nice.
buildings
Use the
Universal
tank,
Petroleum was paying for.
the tank
They want
missiles
anything
on the
else
building.
done, it'll cost them.
Gotta love it. Just kind of
Contract
get the helicopter in the right position and then fire away. The odds of using them on tanks don't usually work out too well, or they take almost all the missiles to take out one good tank. But anyway, that wraps up the UP targets. And like I said before getting to the last of them here, we had to go buy some more anacondas, and now they're friendly. So we're going to get to the HVTs. AA Gamer for Life, the Med to Priest. I hope you're liking these videos. We appreciate the thumbs up and subscribing.